Metric Motorcycle Madness presents Vulcan 800 rear turn signal replacement.
Oh, no kidding, the headlight came on. Assuming there's a bad relay sensor or something. These directionals are flashing too fast. Not really bright enough. Metric Motorcycle Madness here. Today we're working on the Vulcan 800 again. And the directionals are flashing too fast. This thing is a piece of junk. This one is pretty much broken right off. Actually broken out of the threads there. So I have a new set here, a generic Chinese set, for about $10, and they look much better. They're a little bit better constructed than these cheap $5 ones. And the main issue with these ones in particular is that the bulbs, the halogen bulbs, are really cheap. They're not very bright, and the housings are not really waterproof per se. You could replace them with stock ones, but you're looking at either a used set is going to be moderately expensive. I don't know, you might be able to find them cheaper. And I like smaller looking directionals on the rear. And in addition, if you're gonna buy them OEM, they'd be expensive, probably $50 to $100 per directional if you're going with a new OEM replacement. So anyways, these are actually bolted under the grab rails here, but you can't access that from the back underneath the fender. It hides behind here. So as well as the wiring. So we need to remove these rails, and a little bit longer than most bikes because they go all the way down there. So we have some looks like 6mm bolts here, and we might have nuts on the back of some of these. It feels like some of them might be threaded right into the fender. I don't know. This bolt here is apparently a 13mm. I'm not sure that's the original one or not, because it's just an odd size to have. And it's got a little bit of wiggle room on that too. And these are also 6mm here. And these probably screw right into the frame rails. So we're going to remove these on both ends, and just be aware the tail light might be mounted to the rails on the fender with the same screws here. That will give us access to the wiring to start working on getting rid of these pieces of junk and putting in something new. These two bolts that screw into the frame rail appear to hold the actual fender on, so just be aware this may pop off here, and as well as your seat, whole assembly. That's alright though, it'll give you access to everything you need after. So I'd recommend loosening these other ones first here rather than those. Save those for last. Alright, so with one frame rail off, I'm going to just do one at a time. I have access to the wiring, and I have access to loosen the bolt and pull these out of here. And of course, the wire with the white is going to be your hot, and the regular black wire is going to be your ground. Pretty simple just to remove these connections. Just make sure you insulate them with these look okay for the most part, but you need to disconnect these and rewire new plugs in. So smaller plugs are better to be able to fit back into here where the little tabs are to hold the wiring. Okay, so we're gonna loosen this and then disconnect the wires, and then we're gonna set our new ones in and bolt those down. Alright guys, so after you get the rear directionals bolted in from the other end, make sure to connect with new connectors your wires together. Wire colors on the directionals are going to be different colors often, than the ones that come out of the bike. So you have to figure that on your own, but make sure to hide the wiring, tape it off so they're not going to ground out against the grab rails. And then just make sure you got enough clearance, replace your grab rails, and torque down the two mounting bolts to the frame, and then the 13mm bolt here and the other two 6mm Allen sockets on there. And these are done. They look pretty good. Not too bad.